So my name is Rohit Jalani, and I am a student of National Institute of Technology, Tiruchirappalli, India. So recently I worked under Professor Pham and Natalia ma'am to solve the 3D bin packing problem using the bees algorithm. So I'll first start with introducing what exactly the 3D bin packing problem is, and followed by the literature reviews of both 1D bin packing and 3D bin packing. And then I'll discuss about the method used and the algorithm used along with the conclusions obtained. So 3D bin packing is basically a problem to pack uh, many boxes of arbitrary dimension, usually rectangular shapes, into bins of fixed sizes. So the ultimate goal of the 3D bin packing problem is to pack all the boxes in the available number of bins if there is a constraint on the total number of bins used, and to maintain the minimum wastage of empty space in the bins. So as mentioned in the slide, the 3D bin packing drives efficiency across diverse industries. And three of them which I have mentioned here are logistics, warehousing, and furniture design. So I'll explain the furniture design. So basically, in furniture design, we can consider our room as a bin of cubic shape, and we need to fit different furnitures of rectangular or cubic shapes into the room such that we get through the constraints we have. So the main objective of my research and the 3D bin packing is to optimize the space and packing efficiency of several small objects such as boxes into relatively larger objects or bins. And the 3D bin packing problem is considered as an NP hard problem. So it's say that it is really tough to solve using smaller algorithms or basic algorithms. So the problem with the conventional algorithms or the machine learning algorithms or the mathematical models that were used till now were, first of all, is that they took a significantly high amount of time. Secondly, they required a lot of computation power, and third is that the most of the conventional ML based algorithms fail to converge to an optimal solution. So the solution to all the three problems that I mentioned just now is the Bees algorithm. So the Bees algorithm can significantly improve the underlying problems and can easily converge to an optimal solution. So the benefits of 3D bin packing. So the benefits of solving the 3D bin packing problem are numerous and have many positive impacts on several industries. First of all is the space optimization. So this is important because we have limited space to keep our goods or things that are being packed into rectangular or cubic boxes. So we need to optimize the space to require less number of kind of warehouses. Second is the resource efficiency. Third is the cost reduction because we need less amount of material or less amount of space to fit all our goods into the space. So it thus reduces the cost. And fourth is the environmental sustainability. So the basic difference between 1D bin packing and 3D bin packing is that the 1D bin packing mainly focuses on the optimizing the linear arrangement of items. So the main objective of 1D bin packing is to place items on a linear line. And obviously, since we place the items on a 1D plane, the problem requires less number of degrees of freedom. Whereas in 3D bin packing algorithm, the items are placed on a three-dimensional space, and the main concern is to optimize the and the main concern is to optimize all the three dimensions, that is the height, weight, and breadth. And we also need to optimize or know which orientation will make the algorithm to converge into an optimal solution. And since we solve this problem in a 3D plane, so it involves more degree of freedom. So the field of 1D bin packing has been studied quite a lot, and many different mathematical algorithms have been developed and tried on it, and it has been solved uh, uh, to a large extent by all the algorithms. So two of which I have mentioned here. So first is a research by M. Delon and his team. So it mentions or summarizes several important algorithms and mathematical models that were developed previously to solve the 1D bin packing problem. And secondly is the research by Natalia ma'am in 2002, which demonstrated that the Bees algorithm outperformed all the existing algorithms, which was when applied to the 1D bin packing problem. So the Bees algorithm, the validity of the Bees algorithm to solve the 1D bin packing problem was tested using 20 BPP's data set. That is a custom data set selected from the OR library. 3D wind packing. So the field of 3D wind packing has not been explored much till now, although some mathematical models and optimization algorithms have been tried on it, but it has not been studied to to a relatively large extent. So the first research that I referred to know about the 3D bin packing was by D.V. Kurpel and his team in 2019, which mentions four methods to mathematically formulate the process of fitting boxes into the empty spaces. Second is the research by Mr. Y. Hareth in 2021. Uh, he basically placed several constraints on the weights, volume, as well as orientation, and solved the problem using a heuristic approach. And he basically used a three-layer approach where each layer is placed according to the results of the previous layer. Third is the research by S. Martello and his team in the same year 2021. So he basically presented the orthogonal and robot packing of rectangular boxes into the rectangular bins, and he was successful in able to solve moderately large instances to optimality. And fifth is the research that I'm doing currently, that I've done currently. So this research is mainly focused to optimize the problem using the Bayes algorithm to both time and computationally efficient way. So in my research, I used a randomized process to generate the inputs and validate my algorithm and to test my algorithm. So the basic methodology to approach to my research was in basically in four steps. First was the generation of inputs. So as I mentioned in the previous slide, that I generated input using a randomized process. So this process was also mentioned in the research paper by S. Martello and was also mentioned in a research paper in 2007. So it basically fixes the size of the bin, the all the three dimensions of the bins, and it generates random numbers for the sizes of the boxes within a certain constraints. So the table the both the table that are mentioned here are the basically mention the constraint that I used to generate the input. Secondly is finding the empty space. So once we generate the input, we go through each of the box and address them individually. And for each box, we check its generated dimension, the initial orientation, and if and then for each box, we go into each of the bin and find empty spaces in each bin. To the and find the space, we can easily fix the particular box with a certain uh, orientation. Third is deciding the orientation. So once we find an empty space, so we need to find the orientation with which we need to fit the box into the bin. So that is the third step to find the orientation. And fourth is placing the box and calculating the fitness. So that is the basic step in any algorithm. That is to find an initial output and validate its solution or the accuracy using a cost function, which directly gives us a fitness value. So, methodology and models. So, I have mentioned here two flow charts. One is of the Bayes algorithm, and second is the algorithm that I used to efficiently pack the bins into to efficiently pack the boxes into the bins. So, I won't go much into the Bayes algorithm because of the time constraint. So, I'll briefly explain the algorithm for efficient bin packing. So, first I'll explain the cost function. So, as our objective was to minimize the number of bins and to minimize the wastage of empty spaces in the bins. So cost function incorporate both of these factors, and it is formulated as the number of bins plus the ratio of empty to total spaces left in the bins. So the algorithm starts by generating the boxes, the dimension of the boxes, and choosing a size of the bin, as it was mentioned in the previous slide, using a random process. And secondly is that we basically the Bayes algorithm assigns a number between 0 to 1 for each box, and that number is assigned randomly. So then we sort the all the boxes according to the position of the bees. So that induces some kind of randomness in the algorithm, because we don't know that which box we will address first. So according to the position of the bees that was initialized, we basically uh, sort the array of boxes, and the box which got the least number of distance was addressed first. So we iterate through each of the box, and then for each box we iterate through all of the bins that we are currently using, and we try to find an empty space in any of the bins in any of the bins with a particular orientation. So there are two possible cases, that for a particular box we get a empty space in the bins that we are currently using. In that case, we randomly select an orientation if all the orientations are feasible, or else we iterate through all the six possible orientations in the 3D space and try to find the best orientation that can fit the box into the empty space. And second case is that we don't find any empty space to pack the box into the bin. So in that case, we directly generate a new bin and fit the box into the bin, and that always fits into the bin because the size of the box is always less than the size of the bin. And we end the algorithm by and the algorithm ends when the number of iterations is over. And and to precisely explain the foraging part of the honeybees. So basically, we exchange the positions of boxes, or we revert the arrays, and there are and kind of there are four or five more methods by which we induce randomness, and we try to do a local or a global search. So I'm happy to share that the Bayes algorithm was able to find optimal solutions for different size of boxes and bins. And the Bayes algorithm converged very quickly as compared to the existing algorithms, which was one of the key reasons that the traditional algorithms are not much used, because they do not converge very fast. Third is that the algorithm ensured minimum usage of number of bins and minimum empty space in the bins. So both of these, the minimum usage of number of bins and the minimum empty space in the bins, were our objective, and the cost function was also formulated according to our objective. So I mentioned the table which shows some of the outputs that I got by applying the Bayes algorithm to the 3D bin packing problem. And as you can see that in all the cells, we have a whole number along with a decimal. So the whole number represents the number of bins, and the decimal part represents the ratio that we used in the cost functions. So all this value basically represents the most optimal cost, which directly represents the number of bins used and the left empty space in the bins. So concluding my research and the presentation, so this research provides an efficient and optimized way to solve the 3D bin packing problem, which has both cost and environmental benefits. Second is that the Bees algorithm can provide an efficient and minimum wastage a way to cluster the things into some fixed entities, which has applications across many industries, some of which I mentioned in the initial slides. Third is that the Bees algorithm produces outputs comparable to other algorithms, and uh, uh, and it actually outperforms several other mathematical models or machine learning algorithms that were developed in the past to solve the problem. So thank you all. I hope you all like the presentation, and I would love to answer any questions if there are